County Sheriff's Office has sent this letter out to 233 people, mainly youth, and basically people that they consider to be a part of a gang or affiliated with some sort of gang or gang activity. The letter reads, "Your name has surfaced in an ongoing investigation being conducted by the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. The investigation includes current and previous criminal activity over the past 2 years of groups and organizations in Minnesota. Pay attention. This is the most important part right here. You may not be aware that in some cases, individuals may be persecuted for actions of others in their association." What this means is, if you are associated with someone who is in a gang, who is committing criminal activity, or who may be even considered, or who may be being investigated for being in a gang, you will in turn, you will basically be associated with that. You will be put along with that case. They didn't say associated to the gang activity. They didn't say associated to illegal activity. They said being associated to that person. This is very, very serious, and I really hope my youth open their ears and open their eyes and understand what's going on. And there is another part of this that is extremely important, and I'll break it down for you guys. And basically, these are all the charges that they're basically considering: homicide, aggravated assault, anything from threats of violence, riot, riot is weird, but unlawful assembly, concealing identity, another crazy one. Concealing identity, that's almost seems unconstitutional, right? Because we've always heard that you don't have to identify yourself if you're not engaged in any activity or any illegal activity. So if you're with someone who's may or may not be in a gang, or may be under investigation for being in a gang, you don't have to identify yourself if you didn't do anything illegal. But according to this, you can be charged for it. And here is perhaps the scariest part for our youth. And I'm really afraid for you guys. In addition, the second paragraph there, please be aware that if you attend the Minnesota State Fair in company of persons known to us as members of criminal gangs, your association with them will be documented for potential future persecution. This is the craziest thing I've ever read in my life. Now consider this. Let's say that I go to the state fair with someone who is under investigation or who is under suspicion of being in a gang. Now automatically I will be under suspicion, or I will be investigated as if I'm a part of a gang, even if I'm not. But now consider one step further. Let's say a couple days later, I'm no longer with that person who's originally under suspicion of being in a gang, but you're with me. Now you're being investigated for being in a gang. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, at what point does this stop? Because at some point it's just going to get to a place where they're going to say everybody is in a gang. Every Somali is in a gang. Every minority is in a gang. Now look, am I saying that gangs don't exist? Absolutely not. Gangs have always existed, and they probably always will. Am I saying that Somali gangs don't exist? Truthfully, I have no idea. I am way too old and way too far removed from that life to even give you a real answer for that. I don't know. But the truth is that as the youth, it is your responsibility to know who you are with at all times. Your best friend, your cousin, your brother, your sister, if you know they're involved in things that you are not involved in, it might be a wise idea to not even go to the state fair with this person. Sincerely, I would never sit here and tell you not to go to the state fair. You have every right to go. I want our youth to have fun. I want them to have places where they can go, outlets, and things they can do to get their mind off of all of the stressors that they have in their lives. But please just know who you're with at all times. And if you're not involved in nothing, don't go around people who are. Sincerely.